The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Mark. Glory to you. As Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind man, the son of Timaeus, sat by the right side begging. On hearing that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me." And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, "Son of David, have pity on me." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take courage, get up. Jesus is calling you." He threw aside his cloak, sprang up, and came to Jesus. Jesus said to him in reply, "What do you want me to do for you?" The blind man replied to him, "Master, I want to see." Jesus told him, "Go your way, your faith has saved you." Immediately he received his sight and followed him on the way. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear my friends in Christ, I want you all now close your eyes for a few moments and imagine that you are blind. Please close your eyes. Few moments and imagine you are blind. If we are blind, what we can see? Close your eyes. Darkness. And what else? Nothing. You can no longer see the colorful lights and beautiful things, right? You cannot see the dear smiling faces of your brother and sister around, right? Your world now is darkness, and then you are helpless, right? And if we were blind, how will you get back? How you will get back home from church today? Well, we are unable to try. And how we work to earn money for life if we were blind. So, without being to see, we are lost, scared, and dependent. Well, please open your eyes now. I saw someone still closing your eyes. Oh, open your eyes and take a moment to thank God for your sight. Yeah. Very lucky for us. We are not blind. Today's gospel is about a man by the name Bartimaeus who has a handicap of not seeing. He was blind, you know. He is one of the threads of Jewish society whose blindness is considered as a punishment from God because of his sinfulness he committed. He was hurt, not only physical, but also about our spiritual and emotionally. He is spiritual and emotionally hurt because people rejected him and isolated him from the community. And Jesus knows how painful this was. Bartimaeus, the blind man, shouted at Jesus to help him in his sickness. And many people rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more. The gospel tells us that. So Jesus stopped and told them to call him and cure of his blindness. Some of people are really blind physically because all they can see is darkness. But there are people, those they are not blind like Bartimaeus, but we still consider them as blind. Not in the sense of today's gospel, but they are blind morally and spiritually. They become blind because, first, they are not concerned of the situation of the poor. What they look for is their own personal well-being. Second, they always focus on their status in life, that they are poor, and they could not do anything about it. So they do not work anymore and lose hope for the future. Third, because the poverty, they make this as an excuse to make God as secondary in their lives. They are so very busy to looking for material living. Four, I think, because they have already the wealth, they are exploiting people in order to amass more wealth. So the poor now, become poorer, and the rich become richer. Fifth, they want to be the center of attraction. I think 5 things make people become blind. So in the gospel today, actually we are asked to reflect on 3 things, which are invitations coming from God. First thing is to look up to God. Bartimaeus said, "Son of David, have pity on me. And I want to see." Have a story. This happened before the beginning of the Second World War. A man took his wife, who was close to giving birth, to the Catholic hospital. In front of the woman was the crucifix hanging on the wall. The man, who was an unbeliever, said to the nurse, "Take that Christ away. I do not want the eyes of my child, who is about to be born, to see Christ." The baby was born that same night. And, in the morning, the atheist father asked the nurse, "How is my son?" The nurse answered him, "He is fine, but he will never see Christ." "That is my wish," said the father. The nurse remarked, "That is very weak wish, but it has been answered. The child was born blind." Very sad story. Okay, the second in the invitation coming from God is to look into ourselves. If we look into ourselves, we can see we are sinners. Then we need the forgiveness of God and His mercy. Third is to look after others. When we look for a person so that we could see the light of Christ, like Bartimaeus, after he has sinned, he did not go home anymore, but he followed Jesus wherever Jesus went. So, the gospel today is not simply a healing story, but it is also a call story. And Bartimaeus is an example of true disciples. I think there are the three things of our sight. Look up to God. Look into ourselves. And look after others. If we didn't do that, we became blind. We became blind. My brother and sister, I think that's why Bartimaeus in gospel today have a lesson for us all, here and now. Do three things coming from God's invitation to us. May God bless you all.